doing with point perspective so far has been using a horizon line. And I'm not saying that we aren't going to use a horizon line, but the amount of it that you're going to see is probably next to nothing. So if you're going to put your ruler in the middle of the paper, which you probably should regardless, draw the lightest line you have ever drawn in your life. Just barely hold that pencil there. This is really for just you to see it and nobody else. And I don't even know if that's visible on the screen. Here, let's zoom in. See, that line becomes real. In the middle of that line, we're going to put a dot. All right. So my dot at this point is more visible than my actual image, all right, or my actual horizon line. We're going to do an interior room. We did shapes floating in the air. We did the city street. Now we are going to attempt to do a room. Now the room is a little different because our room, or our shape, our flat plane, our front-facing plane, is going to be the back wall of the room. And that back wall goes around the vanishing point. So take a minute or two, not a minute, shouldn't take you a minute to draw a rectangle. Take a couple of seconds, draw that rectangle. All right. So here's the part where everybody messes this up from the get-go. And that's why it's really, really important to put your ruler on your vanishing point, roll up to that first corner. Now, instead of going toward the vanishing point, we're going to put our pencil in the corner and we're going to pull away. The reason why I say people mess this up is they just assume that the vanishing point, the box, and the corners of the paper all line up, and they do not. See right here? This line does not go to that point. So don't do that. Go from your vanishing point out. Now, once we did the one corner, we got to do the other corners. So, as Dr. Evil would say, we're going to put our ruler on that vanishing point. Cha-ching. All right, that one also not from the corner. Over here, ruler on the vanishing point, push away from the corner, and over here, from the vanishing point, push away from the corner. You now have the most boring room in the history of mankind. Don't worry, we will make it better. That the only area that's really front-loaded is going to be the back wall. Everything else, if I go put some on the floor or the ceiling or the walls, it's got to go to a vanishing point. So that's where it gets a little hairy. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the top of my ruler, put it on my vanishing point. I'm going to roll it down a bit. And I am going to draw the top of a door. Now, it's going to be a fairly wide door. But if you were to take, and see, I'm getting to the point where I'm good enough at this, and you guys should be too, that once you put your ruler there and you draw your line, you don't always have to go all the way. Because if you go all the way, then, yeah, eventually you're going to have to erase it. But the top of my door goes to the vanishing point, and since the bottom of doorways are usually level with the floor, I've already drawn the bottom of that door. My only other thing to do is take my ruler and draw the two edges of that door. That's amazing. It's all right. It ain't all that. So I'll wait for a couple seconds, let you guys kind of catch up. And I'm going to think about the things that I am going to put in this room. Now, I would love to do a staircase coming up to this floor here, or this higher part. But But the staircase is one of those things where it's kind of hard to do. And I think I did it in a video. So I will have to check on YouTube to see if I had posted that video yet. And if that's something I think you could possibly pull off. And it could be a challenge for you. If you want to do it, fine. If you don't want to do it, understandable. Just remember, 2-point is easier in everything than 1-point, except for staircases. All right, so I want this door to look like it goes inward. To do that, I'm going to add 2 horizontal lines, because what I'm doing is I'm making the plane, or the front-facing plane, that is the back of that doorway. So I went to this corner, drew a straight line until it ran into the door, went to this corner, drew a straight line until it ran into the door. I probably shouldn't see this. I'm going to assume I have wall-to-wall flooring, carpeting at least. I just go back and erase that little bit. So to recap, corner across till you run into that door, horizontal. Corner across till you run into the door, horizontal. And erase. That's amazing. Now, in the meantime, we have been adding figures into all of these, right? So today is really going to be no different. It's just my figure will be a little smaller. I'll sketch out the head. I'll have him look straight at us this time. Or here, I'll make it even easier. I'm going to have him looking into the room. So you don't have to draw even a face. All right, boom, boom. There's the edge. Here's an ear. Heck, don't even bother to draw here. We'll put a baseball cap on him. They cannot become easier than that. And you notice, since this body's turned away, this shoulder a little shorter than this shoulder here. And I'll tell you what, because I want you guys to kind of finish this dude at least this time, I'll give you about 3 minutes to work on that. I know I don't normally do that, but I tell you to finish it at your leisure. But I have not seen a lot of people finish their figures when they come in or when they get submitted. So I'll give you 3 minutes on that. Okay, so my next step. I'm going to put a humongous window over here on the left side. So, tops and the bottom of that window have to go to the vanishing point. Cha-ching. Cha-ching. All right. Maybe this is Elon Musk's house, right? I'm assuming he would have some sort of ginormous window. All right. So top and bottom, 2 vanishing point, 2 sides vertical, straight up and down. All right, so now you have a light horizon line. And we have opened a spot in the wall where you can see the horizon. So what I will do is I will do some foothills. And I will give it this feeling, maybe that you're out in the desert. Got a bunch of rocks, cool rock formations. Maybe you're out in Moab. It's a really spacey kind of place to visit. All right. Maybe you'll see a cactus Although honestly, I don't think I saw any cactus when I was in Mohill. At least not ones, not your cartoon serialized cactus with the spikes. They're real tall. Those have to exist somewhere. Because I know I've seen cactus. I put one up close. I put one far away. Boom, 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 boom. And for giggles, I will put a figure looking into the window. A one-eyed space alien. This is where this guy was like, no, I should have stayed in Illinois. I had to move out where the space people live. All right, so to the best of your ability, and you notice I'm just throwing a little shade here on the side of these mountains, making them pop out. Going a little three-dimensional here. We've gotten to the point where we're combining our geometric space with our one-point perspective space. All right. Mountains in the background, a little more gray. Mountains up front, a little more detail. Maybe your space alien looks different. That's fine. I'll give you guys like 3 minutes to mess around with that and see what you can come up with. All right. So here we are. We got our outside. If you didn't get finished, you can always go back, put a little more detail in it later, pimp it out to your needs, draw another rock in there if you feel your scene is lonely, do a spaceship. I mean, sky's the limit on that. I'm going to draw what is first going to look like a carpet. Eventually, is going to be a swimming pool. So I'm going to put my ruler on my vanishing point, and I'm going to draw out. This time, though, I'm going to go both off my paper and behind my person. All right. So both this line and this line are going to my vanishing point. Then all I have to do is level that sucker. Boom, boom. All right. And that ends up creating a surface that looks like a carpet. The thing is, we're going to make that carpet fall into the floor and leave a pit, which will turn into a swimming pool. If we went the other direction, it could be a big table, like you have a fancy dining room, or it could be somebody's desk. It could be a bed. You always have that as an option. So once we have those lines, we're going to take our two corners here, and we are going to pull lines straight down from those corners. So there's one on the right. There's one on the left. Actually, I'm going to try to make my right one as far down as my left one. All right. Now, as soon as I have that, I'm going to try. Well, I'm not going to try. I shall succeed in connecting those to make the back wall of the swimming pool. So as you look through this picture at this point, you've got the flat wall here. And if I want to get fancy with it, I could put a door in the background. It could be a double door. It could be all kinds of things, right? I've got this flat wall facing me that is in the hallway. And now I've got the flat wall of the back of the pool. What I need to do is connect up these two bottom pieces. So once again, to my vanishing point and the corner, and I draw out, and I draw out. So both these lines are going to that vanishing point. And now, since it doesn't have water in it yet, it's just a hole in the floor. And as a hole in the floor, I suppose it could be something other than a pool. You could keep your prisoners down there if they're tiny. You could make a tiger pit. Yeah, that would be something. Could have put a bridge over it, fill it with water, and put koi fish in there. Not really sure what else you would do with it. My imagination's at a loss. Now, I need to fill it with water. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make kind of a wavy line to make it look like there's some action going on inside this water. And I'm just going to kind of see, it's loosely going to the vanishing point. Since water is organic, it can't seriously go to the vanishing point. But now I got water. And what I need to do is draw something that helps show me that the water is really three-dimensional. So in this case, like I got the little rings around here. Because everybody's swimming pool truly needs a pet shark. All right. So if you don't want a shark in your swimming pool, you could put an octopus, a bunch of koi fish, whatever you're into. Future sushi. All right. I'll give you a couple minutes to play around with that. All righty. Now, normally this is the point where I go to a great big staircase. It ain't going to happen today. So let's see what else we could add in here that would exacerbate or make our 3D look cool. I'm going to go for a vaulted ceiling. So this is going to be a little bit out of the park. What I'm going to have you do is kind of round up the top here. What? Yeah, this is going to be kind of fun. All right. And since my ceiling is vaulted, maybe I like to look out over the stars in the desert sky, watch for spaceships or alien landings. I'm going to take that curve and very gently, I'm going to kind of sketch out what would be the other half of the beam. I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. There is a mathematical solution for drawing geometric shapes that are curves. It is horrible. It takes a really long time. For anybody who's interested, I can show it to you. But it's almost easier to just do this. Just kind of eyeball it, sketch it out. If you have something that's round that is of the relative shape, you could trace it. Now, there's a lot of ways we can go around this. But now that I've done that, I'm going to have to give the rest of my vaulted roof a similar look. And now I'm back to my vanishing point. All right. I'm going to find the center of this, and I'm going to go a little center right. I'm going to go a little center left. So this beam looks like it's heading toward me. right? It's coming toward you, but it's coming toward you in the sky, which is kind of cool. All right. I'm then going to kind of try to find my middle between those two pieces and these two pieces. So the middle between here and here. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go a little to the left. Booyah. And a little to the right. And a little to the left. Boom, boom. And a little to the right. Have to make sure that your pencil is on the vanishing point for these, though, for this to work. All right, cool. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to kind of get caught up with that. All right, cool. We're almost out of time. So at this point, what I'm going to have you do is I am going to have you maybe put a few mountain tips in the background. The real high ones back there. Booyah. Booyah. All right, cool. Cool. If you want to add another curve here, this curve will go off paper, so I don't have to really draw the rest of it. I might add a second one here just to make this stuff. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to parallel whatever I drew in this edge here. So I'm kind of separating those as windows. Then I can come back, oh my gosh, and I could do some clouds. I could decide if my night or my sky is going to be a night sky. Just shade that in. All right. Of course, I don't know why I would have a night sky and casted shadows from my cactuses at the same time. Well, no, that's not true. If you had a bright enough moon, you could definitely have a casted shadow. It just might be a little on the subtle side. All right, and you should really like take more time at shading this in. That's kind of nightmared that right up, didn't I? Understandable. The idea is just to make it look like it's all kind of one thing. All belongs together. All right. So that's about where we got today. Any other details you want in there, feel free to put in there. And as soon as you're happy with it, take a picture of it, email it to me, and I will give you a grade. Because that's what we've been doing all semester. It should make sense by now. All right, guys. If there are no questions, have a good day. Stay out of trouble. If you can't stay out of trouble, don't get caught. Which means if you're getting caught, you're not good at staying out of trouble, you should probably stop whatever you're doing.